Start pedaling. And no hitting any cones.
He's got a good smile.
Just learn how to balance yourself.
Got to pick up some speed.
Okay, be a champion.
He's been trying to ride a bike for years. He's finally figuring it out.
Good job, Jacqueline. Make your turn.
We're helping kids develop a skill that they'll be able to take throughout their life. Children who probably wouldn't have had this opportunity otherwise.
I read about this program in the paper, in the Phoenix paper. It came to the area last December, and this is my vacation time, so I thought I'd share it with the kids that need my help.
The lap is like 100, right?
The object of this roller is the rollers come out, they're a little flatter, so you have very little wobble. And as the kids progress in their riding, we put on a more tapered cone, so it gives them more of a wobble, and that way they're forced to keep their balance better. And once they get to the point they feel that the balance is good enough, they'll put them on the two-wheel bike without any roller on it.
Pedal, pedal, pedal. I'm just totally amazed watching each day's progression of him being able to learn more and more about balance.
He is very proud of himself.
My daughter is riding a bike for the first time. It's really beautiful to see, because bike riding, she can keep up with peers, it builds her self-esteem, and it's just a beautiful thing to see.
It's incredibly rewarding to see just a basic skill, something that you took for granted, your ability to ride a bike, could be transferred into a child who never thought he could transport himself anywhere.
He's got two brothers that ride bikes, and he so badly wants to play with them and ride with them. And now he can, hopefully.
It's a life-changing experience. You get to work with these kids that are phenomenal kids. They are some of the jewels of the earth. And on top of that, you get to watch an experience that most people don't even realize, don't ever get to see. And that is someone go from not being able to do what you want on Monday, and on Friday you're doing it.
When I feel like my son's blessed and all these kids are blessed, it's going to influence them and their parents' lives for a long time.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. I was just looking at a clip that aired. I hope you enjoyed that. I want you to meet Lee Riddle, who is an employee of BB&T, so I'm looking at his business card, and he really does work there, which is where I used to work, so I guess he's all right. And anyway, he's in the insurance end of it, and involved in something here that I think is very interesting. It really, I think it's a good thing. And, oh, excuse me.
Good morning.
Mr. Almost a Banker is here with me too.
Yes, I'm going to get double teamed today.
Hey, let me tell you, whatever I say and however much I tease you, you know I love you, but I want to congratulate you on another wonderful program.
Thank you.
You know what I'm talking about.
Independent.
Fireworks, music, gifts, great awards, things to eat. You know, it's a monstrous task.
It is.
And and this year we were fighting other things because
Mother Nature.
Yes, Mother Nature, you know. You've ever thought that somebody somewhere may have something against you?
But you know, all the years I've been doing it.
Clean your act up.
1 year we've had that, and all of what, 30 years?
Yeah.
Well, 30 years we've had 1 year that we had to postpone it. But you know, through your help, through Steve's help, through everybody, it pulled together and came out extremely nice. Most, I would say, one of the more pleasant evenings that I've
Perfect from the standpoint of weather. It started. Lee, hold on. We'll get with you. We're here to talk about something else, but I don't have a chance oftentimes after that event to tell somebody that plays an integral role in it, that the organization and everybody connected, it's one of the best things that we have in our county. And this one started off, I saw a lot of blank, empty spaces, and I saw a lot of things that weren't really moving. And I went over and I had grandchildren making the woven thing like that. And it's incidentally one of those ladies, Abby, who is now a teacher at the private school here in the county, and she is getting married in December. But she and her husband-to-be is now a teacher at the high school, the middle school. So, we're all hanging around, but they were working. I watched them, and it took a while to seem like people were waiting a little bit to see if it really wasn't going to rain.
Yes, I think so.
Then, fill me in.
Then somebody turned the switch on. They left what we call the barn door open because they came in in multiple groups. So it turned out to be an incredible night, surpassed our goal. We don't have a final number yet, but we have a lot of dollars that'll go back in the community this year.
Sponsored by?
Sponsored by the Rocky Mount Rotary Club, coming back and giving back to the community this year again. Just overwhelming the participation at night from the audience, and just beautiful weather, and everything turned out perfect that evening.
Thank you for that, and congratulations to you. And it's no easy task, and I'm glad to see that some people that are diminished still have the right to get out and, oh, yes, I'm talking about you, but that's okay. All right. Mark, you're a good guy. I love you, and I appreciate what you do and the organization, and it was wonderful.
It was.
And,
thank you.
Thank you again.
And thank you to everybody that came out to support it. As usual, Franklin County always steps up when we help each other in the community, and that's what makes this place so special.
Well, now I'm going to talk to the guy from BB&T. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. They still give me a pretty good dividend, so and I get insurance from them too, so I've got that, and I bank there and all that mess. They would make fun of me if I decided to change. So after all those years, but in any event, Lee Riddle. This is interesting. I'm going to ask you in a minute what your connection with this is, but give us a rundown on what it is that we're here to talk about. And excuse our little bit of back and forth here, but I don't get the chance to poke Mark very much, except once a year, and this year I got twice. But it also gave me an opportunity to tell him congratulations.
Thank you.
Because you did great, and the club did great.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll go forward, and what are we going to be talking about this morning?
Dick, we're talking about the I Can Shine Bike Camp, which is coming to the Roanoke Valley, Greater Roanoke Valley, 2 weeks from today. And it's, in a nutshell, Dick, it's a camp that teaches children, young adults, and teens with developmental disabilities how to ride a bike in 5 days. And the national nonprofit that runs these camps is out of Pennsylvania. And our son, Charlie, just turned 8 about 3 weeks ago. He has autism, and we wanted to teach him how to ride a bike. And so we were going to go to Virginia Beach or Northern Virginia to one of these camps that's already happening. And we started to have some discussions, and I watched the video that you all just saw maybe 6 months ago, and that kind of changed things for me. And I told my wife, I said, you know what? Let's bring this to the Roanoke Valley ourselves. It'll take a lot of money to put on, but I think I can pull it off. And so we made the decision about 6 months ago to start planning for this, and so we're now 2 weeks away from the camp.
And what are your expectations? How much feedback, how much positive, what's going on?
It's been great feedback, Dick. The location we're having it is called Spectrum Sports Academy in Roanoke, but we're getting tremendous feedback. We've got campers already signed up from Bath County, from Bedford, from Blacksburg, from Craig County. So we've got people driving in from a long ways away for this camp. And we've got room for 15 more campers. So we've got 25 signed up so far, but room for 15 more. And we've got probably 60 volunteers signed up to help out with the camp. And so the feedback, we've been very pleased. We'd love to have a full camp though, so part of the reason that I'm here today is to talk about the camp and to get the word out that we still have room. One of the criteria for the camp is you have to be at least 8 years old, but since we're
8 to
no age limit.
no age limit. Okay.
Yes. In fact, we've got a 21-year-old signed up for the camp, which again, that's really neat. You know, 21-year-old adult that does not know how to ride a bike and has tried, and we're going to teach them how to ride a bike for the rest of their life is pretty neat. But we're going to lower the age to 7, just because we've still got room for 15 people. One of the challenges, Dick, and it's good to go ahead and mention this, is that when we planned this, we really only had about a 6-week window because our son turned 8 July the 15th, and then Labor Day, of course, everybody's back to school by Labor Day, so we really only had about a 6-week window to have the camp. And by the time we figured out where to have it and what their schedule was and what our schedule was, we really zeroed in on this 1 week, August the 19th through the 23rd. Mm-hmm. Turns out that that's actually when some of the school systems start back. And so there's been a little bit of feedback from the community about that. What some parents have chosen to do, Dick, is to take their child out of class for 75 minutes. Now, they've talked to the administration and their teachers about this. Take their child out of class for a 75-minute period, 1 day a week for 1 week, so 5 total days. And I guess the decision is, do you take them out of class for 75 minutes so that you can teach them a skill for the rest of their life that they can enjoy with their family, that gives them an opportunity to exercise. See, a lot of these children, they don't exercise. They don't have the ability to exercise.
Excuse me, let me interrupt you. What's been the reaction with the school folks?
I think with all the parents that have approached the school system have gotten very positive feedback.
Very good. Okay, I would be surprised if the, because it can only be helpful to them as they go forward.
Absolutely.
Dealing with. There's an element of accomplishment. Now, you know, I've listened and spoken and been involved with children, autistic, many different difficulties, disabilities, but when they achieve and when they're able to accomplish, the smile, the involvement is unbelievable, which has got to kind of roll over into what they do in their teaching end of it afterwards.
Could not agree more. There's some. If you go ahead and Google "I Can Shine" Roanoke, it'll pull up our website. But if you just do "I Can Shine," some of the testimonials will blow you away, just from exactly what you just said about the whole confidence level.
Okay.
You know, just so many different fronts, how much better they are, these children and young adults are after they learn how to ride a bike, and it also improves the family dynamic. That's one of the challenges. Is there's not a lot of things that you can do together as a family, and what's more American than apple pie and riding bikes together as a family?
Well, now the bicycles that I saw were bicycles that were built to teach on, and the aim is to have them on a bicycle that they could ride. You know, maybe with like what they call training wheels on it or something else attached, but yet be able to freelance on a bicycle.
The goal is to have all the children. So if we had 40 campers, to have all 40 riding a conventional 2-wheel bicycle by the end of the week with no training wheels.
Wow.
Now the statistics show that they have about an 80% conversion ratio.
Okay. Okay.
So if you had 40 campers, 32 would be riding a bike, their own bike. So the bikes that you saw in the video, those are owned and patented by the I Can Shine organization. So those are, like you said, the kind of the training bikes. Mm-hmm. But the goal is to have all these children riding their own bike by the end of the week with no training wheels. And so it's going to be really, really neat.
And who are you with when it comes to sponsoring this? I mean, what is your connection? Are you a parent, period, that is interested and have jumped in, and somebody that's experiencing it? Is that essentially it, or is there another organization?
Well, it's both, Dick. It's, you know, started off selfishly. We wanted to teach our son how to ride a bike, and then we said, you know what? There's a need in the Roanoke Valley, Greater Roanoke Valley, Franklin County, Blacksburg, Lynchburg. There's really a need, and so that's when we said, you know what? We can not only help our son, but we can potentially help the lives of 39 other children and 39 other families. And so one of the first organizations we reached out to was Member One. And they've just been dynamite, not only from a financial perspective, but from a donation of volunteers to helping us get the word out. I mean, this is not the first public relations thing we've done with Member One helping us. So they've been really a leader in helping us put this camp on board. Of course, my employer has chipped in, BB&T Insurance, and then we had an old friend that used to live here that's now in Richmond. His family, Adam and Olivia Sharp, have chipped in significantly. We told them about the camp just about 10 days ago, and they were blown away by it and wanted to help out. So we've had a lot of sponsors, but really those were the three biggest ones, and I would say Member One has really led the pack with helping put this camp on.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a big deal. That's good. When you look at this, you're affecting 40 children.
Yes.
Somebody might say, is that all? But I'm wise enough to say, yes, and that's sufficient.
Yes.
Because the smallest to the biggest, you know, you're going to do something there that will have benefits down the road. What's your take on it, and why are you doing this?
You know, it's bigger than just helping the children, bringing the family together. When you watch the video and going to the website and watch the video of the family coming in and the accomplishments and just the pride, the self-esteem is huge. Watching these children, you know, increase their self-esteem is, I mean, it can take tears. It puts tears in your eyes to watch the programs, but really, Southwestern Virginia, there's so much of a need for this. And I think that we can, you know, Lee, I applaud his efforts of bringing it here. It's just incredible what he's doing. Really, off the cuff on his own, he and his wife, Jenny, have done this. And, you know, one of the things down the road, we can turn this into multiple bike camps throughout the area. I mean, there's room for its own bike camp eventually in Franklin County. But just bringing everyone on board, you know, we're excited. We're going to have employees volunteering to work it. We actually even, you know, donated funds for what we call scholarships for those who couldn't afford to go to camp, as well as sponsoring a camp. So we really want to see this happen. You know, I've worked for years, you know, for the United Way locally and doing work now in the Valley with them. And, you know, when you see opportunities that can really help your community, we get excited about that. And we've done that for years. And this is a huge opportunity for our community and the people that live in it.
Well, I appreciate that and respect you and the company for doing that, the credit union. But it's kind of an amazing thing. This is the kind of thing that we need to be doing.
Yes.
This is exactly where it's at. You're looking forward to it. Now, did I understand you say that your son is a rider, or he has?
He's going to be.
He is
going to learn how to ride a bike in 2 weeks.
Okay. What is your opinion on the effect? Now and I'm asking somebody that's very close to it.
Sure.
And if you'd rather not deal with it, that's okay. But somebody else is listening.
Sure.
They're just doing this to make some money. What's going on? You know, there are naysayers wherever you go. You're a real person with a real child that really has a need, and you're looking at this, and you've looked at it closely enough to jump in.
Yeah.
Spend your own time and money to try to make it work, and then get other people coming forward. Tell me about your thoughts on that process, and what do you expect?
Well, first of all, we're just trying to raise enough money to cover our overhead. So this, obviously, we're not in this for the money. I would say, though, real quickly, I want to mention, so I don't forget it, is that the camp is $200 for the week, which is, it's not cheap. and then of course they have to go out and buy a bike. So the bike's $150. It's a $350 commitment. But through the help of Member One and several other organizations, we're very well funded, and so I don't want money to get in the way of a child potentially being a part of this camp. We'll figure it out. So I would just go ahead and commit to that.
Okay.
We're not in this to make money. We're in it to help.
Who is we?
My wife and I.
Okay, so you're talking your family.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think that a lot of these children, the only advocates they have are their parents, and so it's just neat to be able to really affect, as we talked earlier, the life of a child and their family for the rest of their lives. And that's what's really neat about this whole organization. And it was said on the video is that on Monday they can't ride a bike, and by Friday they can ride a bike. And so that's just neat that if you contribute financially or you contribute with your time to volunteer, because another neat thing, Dick, is that for every child there's 2 volunteers, and those volunteers work with a child, the same child all week. So they get to see the child from not being able to ride a bike to riding a bike. And from what I understand, of course this is our first year doing it, this is a life-changing experience for the volunteers that are involved.
Isn't that interesting? The people that are involved doing it for, you probably start that process with, yeah, I'd like to give back, and yeah, I'll help out, sure, anything we need. And then all of a sudden and there's many things like that turn around. How many things have you been involved with at the credit union that it's turned your head completely, and that you've done for the good of somebody, something, and then all of a sudden you get that moment where you sit back and look. And you said tears to your eyes, and that's exactly how strong it is. Well, I appreciate, number one, you being here.
Well, I appreciate you having me. And
willing
Mark.
to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the nature of what we do on Rise and Shine, and Cable 12 is a strong promoter, a strong Christian promoter of what goes on. It's one of the few places that I can tell people God bless them and still get away with it on television, which, I'm sorry, isn't that a shame? That's another thing that we have to deal with someday, but not right now. But in any event, we do that. You know that. And it's a good thing to be able to do, and then to get the community and the churches and the schools, the clubs, people that have the time to pick on the right things and to help out. And it's very strong. So I appreciate you coming in. And I appreciate you kind of bearing your soul a little bit there and talking about it, because you're looking forward to this thing not only for the good of the whole, but for the good of a very personal situation.
Absolutely.
How old is your son?
He
that's
turned
right.
8.
Just turned 8. Yeah, I'm remembering. I knew it was just going into one age level. Okay, well, this is great. All right, what else how can people be involved? Where you have a few openings?
Yes, the easiest thing to do is to go Google I Can Shine Roanoke. Okay, that'll pull our website up. It has our rider registration forms, our volunteer registrations forms, and if you want to give financially, that's great. That's down the list on things we need. We really want to have a full camp, and so if you're on the borderline of, or you know someone that may be interested in the camp, log on the website, contact us through email. You can call, I think our telephone number's on the website. That's the easiest way to find us and to learn more about the camp, but it is in 2 weeks. We've still got room, and we would love to have more campers.
I Can Shine Roanoke.
Yes, sir.
We also need some more volunteers.
We need more volunteers, yes.
We presented at Rotary last week, and of course Rotarians have stepped up as usual. I applaud all my fellow Rotarians. But folks to come out to work a shift a day, but it would require working basically Monday through Friday and going to a short training session on that Sunday. But you would work during that same time period with the same child. So
about 75 minutes, an hour, time you drive over there, an hour and a half of your time each day.
4 or 5 days?
For 5 days.
Okay.
And training on the Sunday.
Training on the Sunday, 4 o'clock on Sunday. It's an orientation. That's going to be really neat, though, to learn how to teach these kids how to ride a bike. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm going through it too, because quite frankly, I don't know how to do it, but it's going to be really, really neat.